getting on. So today on Big Ass Sport, we're going to be discussing the Jon Jones versus Dominick Reyes UFC fight yesterday, which was a very controversial fight. It was an incredible fight, and I think that the actual fight quality is being taken away from because of the opinions of people outside of the judging scorecards. And before we get in, and before you get upset at me for that comment, I believe that the result was wrong in my opinion, but I can also understand how the result was given as it was. The main thing I'm trying to say is that this fight was actually an incredible fight. It was great to watch, and every part of it was enthralling. It was exciting, and you never knew who was actually going to win that fight. And that was what was awesome about it. But unfortunately, you know, there's been a lot of criticism about the scorecards, and unfortunately, it's taken away from the actual quality of the fight. Especially judge number 2, especially Mr. Joe Solis. You should definitely not have a license to be scoring any fights anytime soon, because that was ridiculous. Straight up, before we get into the actual analysis of this specific fight, I want to say my belief is you never leave it to the judges. Never leave it to the judges. If you want it clear and defined results, it's pretty obvious. Don't leave it to the judges, because the judges a little bit dodgy, can be a little bit dodgy at times. Yeah, especially in this fight, I believe. But you know, I think this one comes down to the fact that you have to beat the champion to be the champion. Jon Jones is an incredible fighter, probably one of the best, if not the best we've ever seen. And I always thought that if this one did go down to the scorecards and it did go to the judges, that it had to be an incredibly definitive result in support of Reyes to actually get this victory. So unfortunately, that's just how it's happened. However, you know, we'll get to judge 2 in a second. We'll get to you in a second, Mr. Joe Solis. In regards to the first 2 rounds, I think it was pretty clear and really definitive that Reyes won those 2 rounds. His combinations were lethal, his punches were on point, his leg kicks were just, you know, they're on point. Everything was on point, and they were looking really good. And Reyes is looking like a really good fighter at this point. Everything in those 2 rounds was just absolute domination from Reyes, and that's why I believe he easily won the first 2 rounds. Where I get confused with this is that obviously everyone gave the first round to Reyes, but 2 judges end up giving the second to Jones. I don't know where they got that from. Obviously, you know, Jones was a lot more on the forefront rather than backing off, and some fighters back off, some fighters come forward. It's just their style. And Jon Jones was clearly he was attempting to be the aggressor, but I definitely feel like Reyes was getting the more clinical punches and clinical hits in these 2 rounds. And the second round was more about Jones trying to get the takedown and just not really coming up with the takedown. It's just the defense from Reyes was incredible, really. And I just don't know how 2 judges gave the second round to Jones. It doesn't make sense to me. That 3rd round was a complete toss in the air. Both fighters were landing critical punches. Both fighters were, you know, attacking quite well. Both fighters were defending quite well, and it was a really good 3rd round. But I can understand how these judges gave this round to either of the fighters. It really doesn't matter to me, because I feel like both of them deserve this round. But like I was saying, both the first and second round, it should have been in favor of Reyes in all 3 scorecards. So it just means that 2 out of the 3 judges had to give that 3rd round to Reyes. Now, obviously, only 1 did, and like I said, I can understand how 3rd round is given to either one. I don't really mind. So this is why I'm saying I can understand how Jones won this fight. Both sides of the fight have been, you know, Reyes 1 and 2, Jones 4 and 5, 3rd round up in the air. That's why I can understand how Jones won the fight. But in my opinion, I personally think that Reyes won the first 3 rounds, but that's just my personal opinion. But like I said, can understand. In 4 and 5, this is what championship fighters do. This is what champion fighters do. Jon Jones easily won 4 and 5. I just feel like he was definitely the aggressor. He was definitely on the attack. He was definitely on the up. Jon Jones is a champion for that reason. Like I said, he's one of the best, if not the best fighter we've ever seen. The main thing we're going to discuss here, though, is the second judge, Joe Solis. What on earth is he doing in this profession? It makes no sense how he could think that that fight was 4-1. 4-1 in favor of Jones. And that's just ridiculous. That's just ludicrous, and that should not be a thing. That should not happen. 4-1 in favor of Jones is just ludicrous. So in reality, if you change the first judge's 2nd round score to a win for Reyes, which is rightfully so, you change it to a win for Reyes, the fight is still in Jones' favor. Jones still does win the fight, but not unanimously. He wins it via split decision, which I feel is a lot more fair for this fight. I feel like it's a lot more fair of a result for this fight. So with all this being said, I feel like there needs to be an immediate rematch. I feel like both these fighters have been absolutely incredible up until this point. Reyes is definitely on the up, and Jon Jones is obviously looking for the best competitor he can find, and I guarantee right now, right this second, Reyes is the best competitor he can find in comparison to his style. And I feel like Jon Jones is going to want it too, because he's come under a lot of criticism for this fight that I don't necessarily feel is warranted as such. I still feel like he is the champion for a reason, but he's going to want to get rid of all this criticism and really pummel him, and I feel like this is going to be Reyes' chance to, you know, say, you know what, I did win that fight, and I'm going to win this next one. I feel like this is going to be an incredibly awesome matchup for an immediate rematch, and Reyes does deserve it. Though Reyes did lose this fight, I feel like the respect that he has gained is absolutely monumental, and it's really showing that he is an incredible fighter, and he's getting the recognition that he deserves. Although he lost it, he definitely has shown what he has. He definitely deserves an immediate rematch, and I definitely think we're gonna get it. That's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up so I know that you're enjoying this content. I want to see if you guys enjoy this fight analysis. I want to see if you guys want more fight analysis, because I love watching boxing and UFC, MMA, you know, I love watching it all. So if you want more fight analysis of these big time fights or even small time fights, do let me know in the comment section below, and also let me know your thoughts on this fight. Do you agree with me? Do you feel like Reyes should have won? But can you also understand how Jones won? Or do you feel like Jones won a unanimous decision? Do you think that that was a fair result? It is what it is. The scorecards have come out. We've seen who the winner is. It's just opinion based now. We all know what the result was. Jump into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts, because I am eager to see them. And also don't forget, if you love your sporting content, go right down there, hit that red subscribe button and hit that little ding-a-ling-a-ling notification bell so you get a notification every single time we upload. Deontay Wilder vs Tyson Fury 2 is coming up soon. I'm keen with that sound. But that will do us for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.